in the trade, we're moving up to the next trade. We were talking about zihirut, about being careful, doing not to doing sins. But then we also have now the midah of zirizut. Zirizut means to be swift to do a mitzvah, the opposite of being lazy. There's laziness, and then there's zirizut, which means to be swift, to be excited, to run to do the mitzvot. And we know that the person has to know that zihirut is involving the grechs, the sins, but zirizut is involving positive commandments. That when you have to do a positive mitzvah, to go pray, to go learn, to go do whatever it is, to go be swift to do it, not to be lazy about it. And he says that Chazal tell us in Pesachim Daf Daled, zirizin makdimin lemitzvot. People who are zirizim, people who are swift, they're quick to do the mitzvot. Like, Abraham Avinu, when Hashem told him go and do the sacrifice, he did not wait till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He did it right away in the morning, even though Hashem didn't tell him what time to do it, because zizin makdimin lemitzvot. Now, a person has to make sure that he has to know and fight himself and to push himself not to be lazy, because naturally, everybody's lazy. Naturally, we're very physical, and our bodies are heavy, and it wants to be, even in the laws of science, there's this thing called inertia. The way that you're going is the way you're going to stay until you change something. So therefore, if a person is going very fast, the object is going to continue to go fast until some force is acting upon it. So therefore, you yourself, you should know, naturally you're going to be lazy unless you psych yourself up and motivate yourself. So therefore, a person has to make it his effort to go and constantly remind himself why he's doing what he does every day. You have to remind yourself, and when you wake up, I woke up today. Why am I up today? Why am I doing whatever am I doing? And this way, he keeps his fire going. He'll be motivated to overcome his laziness. He says, why? He says, because tzarich shitgaber neged tivo atzmo v'yitgaber v'yizdarez. A person thinks that, no, I'll naturally get up. I'll naturally push myself. I'll naturally be excited to do mitzvot. You should know that a person has to make an effort, because naturally your body is going to want to do nothing. Naturally your body is going to want to be lazy. And a person has to go out of his way, just like he's hold himself from not going to do a sin. He has to hold himself from not being lazy and sit down and do nothing. He says, well, at least I don't do sins. At least I sit home and do nothing. No, that also is the next step. Fine, stop doing the sins. Sur mera, ve'asetov, stay away from the sins and start doing positive. The Chazon Ish famously said that laziness can even make you do things better in a different way, in order that you should do it as a faster and more efficient way. That way you don't have to work so hard. For example, there's people who used to say that I always rather hire lazy workers. Why? Because they're going to find the fastest and easiest way to do it. Right? So therefore, sometimes in your service of Hashem, your laziness could cause you to do the mitzvah in a certain way, in order that you should put less effort. But you'll get up and you'll run to do something, but out of laziness you do it this way and not that way. So therefore, a person has to know that even when you're doing stuff, there's still a lazy way of doing things. Laziness doesn't only mean I sit home and do nothing. Laziness could be even the way that you push yourself. When a person learns, right? A person learns in the yeshiva. This happens all the time. A person learns, Tosafot quotes a Gemara, and you don't know exactly what Tosafot's saying. You say, okay, whatever. We understood. We didn't understand. But really, you're supposed to open up the Gemara, understand what that Gemara is saying, come back to Tosafot, and then you understand the flow. To go and open that sefer, to get up and go bring that book. So you see, it's the laziness. Even while you're learning, but the way you're learning is lazy, because you don't want to go and do extra mile. So therefore, once you're doing the mitzvah, do the mitzvah all the way. Why are you cutting corners for laziness? So even in our mitzvot, we have to cut out the laziness. Therefore, a person has to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I want to be ratz ketzvi. I want to be swift like a deer. I want to be able to run for the mitzvah. I want to be excited. Because naturally, we all have a yetzer hara to be lazy. And it's not that we're bad. We know the only reason we got the Torah and the mitzvot is because the angels wanted it. But Hashem gave it to us because He said to the angels, do you have yetzer hara? Do you have a desire to kill somebody else? Do you have a desire to sleep home all day and not to do mitzvot? No, we do. So that's why we get the Torah. So you're very holy because you have a yetzer hara and you overcome it. The greater the person, the greater the yetzer hara, the greater the person, the more laziness will have, the more desire he'll have to do the wrong thing. So therefore, a person should not be, Rabbi, I'm such a lazy person, I'm good for nothing. That is the yetzer hara talking. You have to realize that because of this, that's why your mitzvot are worth very, very much. We said that Arizal says all our mitzvot we do today, due to the great yetzer hara we have, it counts as many mitzvot at the times of the Tanaim and Amoraim. So if Rameir Balanes would pray right now, but you would pray right now, which one would be higher, says Arizal? Your prayer. Why? Because you have more yetzer hara in this generation not to go pray, and you still go pray. Says the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this is very, very special in my eyes. So therefore, a person has to make sure, not just don't do grechs, don't do sins. Also, even how you do the positive commandments has to be without laziness, rather with zirizut.